The video appears to show Solange going after Jay-Z.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 celeb scandals of the century so far. For this list, we'll be looking at the biggest controversies over the last 2 decades involving public figures. Which of these looms largest in your memory? Have you changed your mind about any of them over time? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. Ellen DeGeneres' treatment of employees. The comedian presents herself on her talk show as a friendly, down-to-earth personality. However, rumors of mean remarks and actions have circulated for a while, and in 2020, employees began to speak out.
Remember, these were allegations of fear and intimidation at the workplace, of sexual harassment, of racism. Shocking allegations on their own, but this was at the Ellen show.
In a report from BuzzFeed in July, employees alleged that Ellen presided over a toxic work environment where they were exposed to sexual harassment, racist comments, and other issues from the show's producers. Following these revelations, ratings dropped by more than 1 million viewers.
The Emmy winner finished by acknowledging she's not just a TV personality, she's also the boss of 270 people on her show's staff. Ellen says she wants them all to be happy and proud to work there.
In 2021, DeGeneres announced that she would be ending her show after 19 years on the air. Number 19. Kanye West accuses George W. Bush of being racist. The slow government response to the Hurricane Katrina disaster in 2005 was widely criticized, especially the delay in providing aid to New Orleans residents. On September 2nd, a benefit concert was held to raise much-needed funds. However, Kanye West decided to go off-script.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food.
He criticized the media for portraying white families as, quote, looking for food, yet black families as, quote, looting. And he infamously set his sights on President Bush, suggesting he was indifferent to black Americans.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
The comment shocked his co-host Mike Myers and stirred up outrage and debate. While Myers later characterized West's comment as, quote, speaking truth to power, West eventually apologized. Number 18. Michael Jackson and Prince. The King of Pop was embroiled in controversy throughout the 2000s, what with his child endangerment trial and this 2002 incident that took place at a Berlin hotel. As a spontaneous act to surprise his fans, Jackson presented his infant son to a crowd outside the hotel, Prince Michael Jackson II, or Blanket. However, the way he showed his infant child shocked the public, as he put a towel over the child's head and held him over a balcony where one slip could have sent the baby plummeting to a gruesome end. Jackson seemed to recognize how dangerous his act was and issued an apology. Number 17. Eminem's feud with the Cheneys. During a congressional hearing in 2000, Lynn Cheney, wife of future Vice President Dick Cheney, asserted that Eminem promoted violence against women.
He is a violent misogynist. He advocates raping and murdering his mother in one of his songs. He glories in the same song in the idea that he might murder any woman he comes across.
Cheney also called on the rapper's record label to drop him. In response, Eminem made sure to give Lynn a couple of mentions in his 2002 album, The Eminem Show, In Without Me, and White America. Even more shockingly, for the music video Without Me, Eminem featured a stand-in for Dick Cheney, who's electrocuted by the rapper.
I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicated. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see.
It was another example of Eminem going all out against critics. Number 16. Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin's college admissions scandal. In 2019, an FBI investigation named Operation Varsity Blues uncovered a criminal scheme in which parents were bribing their children's ways into top universities.
The bust is called Operation Varsity Blues, and the accusations range from paying thousands of dollars for higher SAT scores to presenting students as top athletes in sports they never even played.
It is a little enraging.
Among those involved were actresses Felicity Huffman, best known for her role in Desperate Housewives, and Lori Loughlin of Full House fame. Huffman paid $15,000 to have someone take her daughter's SAT test for her, and Loughlin paid $500,000 to have her daughter enrolled in the University of Southern California. Both actresses were arrested and did short stints in prison.
The ruling: 14 days in prison, $30,000 fine, 1 year supervised release, and 250 hours of community service.
The scandal shone a spotlight on how the rich are able to use money and influence to give their children an unfair advantage. Number 15. Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake's halftime performance at Super Bowl 38 in 2004 is undoubtedly one of the most infamous television events of all time. At the end of Rock Your Body, Justin removed part of Janet's costume, exposing her breast for about half a second. The backlash was massive, with shocked and outraged commentators lamenting the country's moral collapse. Over 500,000 letters poured into the FCC, who fined CBS $550,000, although it was later voided. The controversy is now remembered for having unfairly tarnished Jackson's career while not affecting Timberlake's at all.
All the emphasis was put on me, not on Justin. And Justin, we were friends.
Number 14. Kanye interrupts Taylor Swift's awards speech. When Taylor Swift won Best Female Video at the 2009 VMAs, Kanye was so outraged that he crashed Swift's acceptance speech and let everybody know what he thought.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
The moment was embarrassing for everyone, even Beyoncé, for whom West was advocating. Beyoncé graciously invited Swift back to the stage to finish her speech when she won for Video of the Year. West faced enormous public backlash for ruining Swift's big moment and apologized.
It was rude, period, and, you know, I'd like to be able to apologize to her in person.
But in 2016, he also later took credit in an improbable lyric for making Taylor Swift famous.
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that famous. God damn. I made that famous.
Setting off a new round of controversy. Number 13. Jussie Smollett's fake hate crime. The actor from Empire made headlines when he claimed in January 2019 to have been the victim of an attack outside a Subway restaurant in Chicago.
How can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
Smollett alleged that 2 white males in MAGA hats put a noose around his neck, poured bleach on him, and beat him while yelling racist and homophobic slurs. It was later revealed that the men were actually Nigerian-born brothers who knew Smollett and said he'd paid them to stage the attack. The initial charges against Smollett were dropped, which also caused controversy. He was even so bold as to file a countersuit against Chicago, but he was later convicted of making false police reports and disorderly conduct.
For years, his allegations had raised questions of race, hate, and lies surrounding his claims, which affected the city of Chicago and beyond. Today, a jury said he was lying.
Number 12. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry step down. Meghan Markle married Prince Harry in 2018, leaving acting behind and becoming the Duchess of Sussex. However, British tabloids found much to criticize, from her choice of wedding flowers to the fact that she eats avocados.
There was such an obsession about anything in my world.
Some commentators have linked this bias to prejudice against Markle's nationality and biracial heritage. Due to the hostility, as well as invasions of privacy, Markle and Harry stepped down from their senior royal positions in January 2020.
And if a member of his family will comfortably say, we've all had to deal with things that are rude. Rude and racist are not the same. And equally, you've also had a press team that goes on the record to defend you, especially when they know something's not true, and that didn't happen for us.
Among the public, some were understanding, especially given the fate of Harry's mother Diana. Others were outraged. Perhaps no one was more angry than Piers Morgan, who claims that Markle once ghosted him and has kept up a steady barrage of criticism. Number 11. Martha Stewart's insider trading. Given Martha Stewart's reputation for giving Americans happy homemaker tips, she was probably the last person anyone would suspect of being a white-collar criminal.
Martha Stewart decided to spend her last night of freedom away from the glare of the spotlight. Tomorrow, she trades that glare for surveillance of a different kind.
However, that changed in 2002 when it was alleged that Stewart had sold off more than 3,900 shares of ImClone Systems before its stock dropped 16% in value the next day. In 2003, Stewart was indicted on 9 felony counts related to insider trading, and in 2004, she was convicted on all counts and served 5 months in a federal prison.
And I'm not afraid whatsoever. I'm just very, very sorry that it's come to this.
Because of the scandal, Stewart had to step down from the board of directors of Martha Stewart Living Omni Media Incorporated, and she couldn't join again until 2011. Number 10. Britney Spears' conservatorship. The Princess of Pop became an instant sensation in 1999 with Baby One More Time, but in the mid-2000s she had a very public breakdown, shaving her head, checking into and out of drug and alcohol rehabilitation facilities, and even crashing into a parked car. The media coverage was relentless, and the public could not get enough.
She was constantly swarmed by paparazzi. She was talked about in the tabloids and portrayed in a very misogynistic and sexist light.
After child welfare investigators got involved, she lost custody of her children. It all culminated in a conservatorship under her father Jamie, with conditions including time in a psychiatric facility and using an IUD. In response, her fans started a Free Britney movement to advocate for an end to the conservatorship. Britney Spears and her supporters finally got their wish in November 2021.
Her most ardent fans, the legions of the Free Britney movement, celebrating outside.
I'm so happy. She deserves all of the freedom.
Number 9. Tom Cruise's Scientology video. Founded by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard, the Church of Scientology has remained controversial in spite of its celebrity advocates.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn.
The organization is infamous for its space opera involving an alien dictator named Xenu, but also its predatory financial tactics and aggressive policies towards critics. That hasn't stopped Tom Cruise from extolling its virtues. In 2008, a video uploaded to YouTube showed Cruise claiming that Scientologists are experts at dealing with drug addiction and the only people who can help after car accidents. When the organization filed a copyright claim, YouTube took the video down.
They said, so, like, have you met an SP?
This inspired hacktivist collective Anonymous to launch the protest movement Project Chinology. Number 8. Lance Armstrong's doping scandal. This pro athlete and cancer survivor was seen as an inspiration by people around the world and raised millions for cancer research through his Livestrong Foundation.
For 7 straight years, he dominated arguably the hardest sporting event in the world.
History in the making, 7 times a winner of the Tour de France.
Around him grew an empire that included a powerful foundation dedicated to fighting cancer.
It's one of the great human stories.
He was an example of what was possible if you worked hard and believed in yourself. However, in 2012, Armstrong disappointed the sports world and disillusioned his supporters when he admitted to using steroids to enhance his performance during his bike races.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Yes or no? Was one of those banned substances EPO?
As a result, Armstrong was stripped of all 7 of his Tour de France titles and was banned for life from the sport. Number 7. Tiger Woods' cheating scandal. In 2009, Tiger's world was turned upside down when the National Enquirer published a story about an extramarital affair.
I've done some pretty bad things in my life, and all came to a head.
A few days later, he crashed his car and had to be brought to the hospital. As the number of alleged affairs began to grow, so did everyone's interest in the story, making him the focus of morbid curiosity. As a result of the scandal, his wife, Elin Nordegren, divorced him, and several companies such as AT&T and Gatorade decided to drop him from their endorsement deals. The scandal permanently tarnished Tiger's squeaky clean image.
I hurt a lot of people, not just my wife. My friends, my colleagues, the public, kids who looked up to me. There were a lot of people that thought I was a different person.
Number 6. Allegations against R. Kelly. The R&B artist has long been suspected of having inappropriate relationships with underage girls. In 2002, R. Kelly was indicted on multiple counts of possessing obscene material involving children. Though he was acquitted, and a year later, he was able to beat the rap again.
Last month, Kelly was indicted again, this time charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse of 4 women, including 3 who the charges say were minors at the time.
However, in the late 2010s, more allegations of misconduct and abuse emerged, along with a series of high-profile documentaries, including Lifetime's Surviving R. Kelly. In July 2019, federal prosecutors charged Kelly with multiple felony counts, including racketeering, exploitation, and kidnapping. And in September 2021, he was convicted and will be sentenced in May 2022.
That verdict comes after weeks of testimony from some 50 witnesses. He faces potentially decades in prison.
Number 5. Allison Mack and NXIVM. Best known for her role as Chloe Sullivan on Smallville, this actress was involved in NXIVM, a cult dressed up as a multi-level marketing organization. As part of NXIVM, which she joined in 2006, Mack recruited girls to become slaves for cult leader Keith Raniere. In 2018, Mack was indicted on charges including sex trafficking and forced labor that potentially could have landed her between 14 and 17 years in prison. However, because of her cooperation with investigators in bringing down Raniere, Mack was only sentenced to 3 years in prison, 1,000 hours of community service, and was fined $20,000.
Prosecutors asked the judge to give Mack a reduced sentence because of the, quote, substantial assistance she provided with their investigation into the cult.
Number 4. 2014 photo hack. Ever get suspicious emails asking for sensitive information? Some of them look legitimate, as if they're from Apple or Google, but they're not.
An invasion of privacy tonight impacting some of the biggest stars in the world. Personal photos of some A-list celebrities were reportedly posted on photo sharing site 4chan, allegedly obtained by hacking cloud accounts.
In 2014, several celebrities, including Jennifer Lawrence, Kirsten Dunst, and Kate Upton, were the victims of such a scam. Their iCloud accounts were hacked and private photos uploaded to websites like 4chan. It was a horrible invasion of privacy that's enough to give anyone nightmares. Lawrence was perhaps the most vocal about her outrage, calling the hack a violation and sex crime.
Just because I'm a public figure does not mean that I asked for this. It does not mean that it comes with the territory. It's my body and it should be my choice. And the fact that it's not my choice is absolutely disgusting.
At least 5 men who were involved in the hacking were convicted and given prison sentences. Number 3. Accusations against Bill Cosby. Before Hannibal Buress's rant at a stand-up show went viral in 2014, Bill Cosby was so loved and respected as a comedian that he was known as America's dad.
But this squeaky clean image was quickly shattered as the sexual assault allegations came pouring in.
However, after the Buress video gained attention, several women felt encouraged to come forward and accuse Cosby of misconduct. In 2018, Cosby was indicted and convicted of aggravated indecent assault against Andrea Constand and received a prison sentence of 3 to 10 years. However, in 2021, he was released early after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction, citing a violation of due process.
Many do not see a legal path for another case, but some say they're not giving up.
Other cases are still pending, however, and the scandal has forever tarnished his legacy. Number 2. Prince Andrew's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein was able to cultivate a lot of relationships with powerful people based on his ability to traffic young girls.
The Monday morning headlines say it all. Prince Andrew's attempt to explain his friendship with accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein backfiring.
According to one of Epstein's victims, Virginia Giuffre, Prince Andrew was one such a person and abused her in 2001. The ties between Epstein and the Duke of York were reported by the BBC in 2011, and in 2019, the prince gave a disastrous interview where he infamously tried to dispute allegations by insisting that he was unable to sweat.
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat.
Prince Andrew, who served in the Royal Navy, says he developed the rare medical condition during his combat tour in the Falklands War.
The Epstein scandal has been a headache for the British royal family, and in November 2019, Andrew stepped down from his duties as a royal. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Harvey Weinstein and Me Too. An influential producer once considered a titan in Hollywood, Weinstein was accused of assault and harassment by numerous women, as detailed by the New York Times and the New Yorker. After these stories came out, actress Alyssa Milano encouraged women around the world to share their stories on social media with the hashtag #MeToo.
It was started by actress Alyssa Milano. She tweeted out, "If all women who have been sexually harassed or assaulted wrote Me Too as a status, we might give people a sense of magnitude of the problem."
This would spark a movement that changed the way many industries viewed misconduct in the workplace. In February 2020, Weinstein was found guilty on multiple counts of misconduct and was later sentenced to 23 years in prison.
This is seen as a severe sentence and perhaps a watershed moment for the Me Too movement. Harvey Weinstein sentenced to 23 years behind bars.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.